What's going on, guys? John Elder here from Codemy.com, and in this video, we're going to start to work on our State Capital's flashcard app with Tkinter and Python. Alright guys, like I said, in this video, we're going to start to work on our State Capital Flashcard app. But before we get started, if you like this video and want to see more like it, be sure to smash the like button below, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm, which really helps the channel out and I really appreciate it. And check out Codemy.com, where I have dozens of courses with hundreds of videos that teach you to code. Use coupon code YouTube1 to get $30 off membership. That's all my courses, videos, and books for a one-time fee at just $49, which is insanely cheap. Okay, so moving right along in our little app here, now it's time to work on our State Capital flashcard game, right? So what I'm thinking here is we'll have the state, maybe we'll put Texas underneath it just in case people don't know this is Texas. And then we'll have, some random buttons here with random state capital names that you can pick from. Now, Austin, I think, is the capital of Texas or whatever. And every time you do this, it kind of randomizes things. And here you see Springfield is the capital of Illinois. It's the first one listed. Austin was the last one listed. So we'll need to do some randomization inside of that as well to make sure that, the state capital isn't the first one listed every time. Nebraska, that would be Lincoln. Now it's the last one. See what I mean? Tallahassee is the last one. Let's see. Austin's the first one. See if we can get one in the middle. Carson City, that's not. Montpelier, is that Vermont's capital maybe? Let's say that is. So yeah, you get the idea. So in this video, we're going to take a step back from Tkinter and we're going to look at the Python involved in all of this randomization, because it's a little bit more intricate than some of the things we've done in the past. And we really want to kind of think our way through it and make sure we're doing it intelligently. Now, there's probably a zillion ways you could do this. There is no right way to do it. I sat down for a few minutes. I thought to myself, how would I randomize these three things? And this is sort of what I came up with, and that's what we're going to look at in this video. Probably in the next video, then we'll integrate that into the app itself to actually make the buttons and things and all of that. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to just create a new Python file. I'm just going to call it randomy. We're not going to use this file for anything. I'm just going to use it for, purposes of showing you sort of my thinking and how I kind of walked through randomizing these three answers, because there's several sort of moving parts to this, and as you'll see as we get going. So first things first, I'm going to come to our math flashcards, and we need this random line because we need to do random stuff. So we'll copy this, and we also need to just import random itself because we're going to be doing some shuffling in random. So we have to import random for that. Now, whenever we create a thing here, we're going to have three answers. You can have as many as you want, but I'm just going to do three for now. And we want to save those three things into a Python list. So I'm going to call that our answer underscore list. And it's just a Python list, and it's just empty for now. As we randomly select each thing, we'll add it to the list manually later on. So, okay, now we need to grab our Python list of all of our states, right? So if you remember, I've just used like 10 of these things, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so if you're going to use all 50, have at it, knock yourself out, but I've just used 10. Now, we've got the states. We need now a dictionary of our state capitals. So let's go R underscore state underscore capitals. And this is going to be a Python dictionary, and you'll see why in just a second. And we might as well globalize this guy. I don't know that we really need to, but whatever. So, all right, now I'm going to just copy and paste this because I went out and I went to Wikipedia or something, and I looked up all of these things. So here we have, if you're familiar with Python dictionaries, they are key value paired things. So this is the key, this is the value. This is the key, this is the value. Key, value, right? So our states are the key, and their capitals are the values, right? So you'll notice I put double quotes here and single quotes here. That's just because I'm weird. You could put double quotes on either of them. You could put single quotes on either of them. It doesn't matter whatsoever. I just did it like this just to sort of keep track of the difference We know that our keys are in single quotes and our values are in double quotes, as if you needed some other thing to do that. So, okay, we've got our list here. Now, if you're going to do all 50, you can probably Google Python dictionary state capitals and get one that's already made for you probably, or you could just go to Wikipedia and look up state capitals and find a list and then just, make it manually yourself, however you want to do that. So, okay, now we need to make a random number. So we can pull this out of here. So let's just grab this here. Actually, we don't need the state thing. We just need to grab a random number at this point. So let's do that. And we don't need to tab all this stuff over. Okay, so probably don't need to global rando this thing for this file, but we'll just leave it like that for now. So, okay, we're going to generate a random number. It's going to be between 0 and the length of our list. We've already done this in the earlier videos when we were doing our state flashcards, right? So we understand what this line of code does already. It just generates a random number. So we could print this out. So if we want, so let's say this random number generated 4, or let's say 2, right? That would be in our list here, 0, 1, 2. That would be Illinois. So how do we print out Illinois' capital doing that? Well, we could just print out our state capitals. This is our dictionary, right? And then the thing we want to print is our states, and then this rando. We pass that in there. That makes sense? So let's save this and run it and just see if that works. So we can pull up our guy here. And so that was Python randomy, I think. Yeah, randomy. And boom, it prints out Springfield, right? If we run it again, boom, Carson City, Frankfurt, right? So we're pulling out a thing. Now we can print out also the state itself if we wanted to, if we're curious, right? We could just print, let's see, just our states rando, right? So if we ran this, let's clear the screen here. So Florida, Tallahassee. The state is Florida, the capital is Tallahassee. The state is Vermont, Montpelier, Texas, Austin, Vermont, Montpelier again. So, okay, that's easy. No big deal there, right? So now what we want to do is we don't really need to print out this stuff anymore. So we've got our selection, right? Now this is basically our answer. It's the first one that we want to randomly select, and that'll be our answer guy. So we can set our answer equal to that. So let's go answer equals, and we can just use this, right? So this is going to say our states, this is going to tell us the state that we've randomly selected. And then if we know the state, we know its capital. So we don't have to designate that specifically, right? Okay, moving right along. Now we've got our answer list, right? So let's add our first random selection to our answer underscore list, right? So this is our answer list. So we can go answer list dot append, because that's how we append things to a list that's already in existence. And then we could just put this whole thing in there, right? Okay, so we've now made a selection, right? We've grabbed our thing, that's our answer, whatever the first thing is. Now we want to grab 2 more items out of our list, but we want to make sure that the next thing we grab randomly isn't the same as the last one we grabbed randomly, right? So there's a bunch of different ways we could fix that. In my mind, let's just remove the thing that we already selected from our list. So then the next time we pull something from it, it won't be there to select randomly, accidentally, right? Does that make sense? So we can get rid of, so let's go remove answer from list. So here is the name of our original list. It's our states, right? So we can just rstates.remove. And then whatever this thing was, right? So let's just put that in there. Okay, so now, and we can sort of verify this. We could print out our states, right? And now we can remove whatever we already selected, and then we can print out our states again, and let's see if that one is still there. So let's run this and see. Clear the screen. So we need to actually print out what the thing was so we know what we're looking for. Okay, so let's also print, well, let's just come up here and uncomment this. Okay, so that'll work. So we selected Oregon. Here's our original list, and there's Oregon in our list. Now we've removed the list, and in this one we should not find Oregon. So California, Florida, Illinois, Texas, Nebraska, Nevada, New York, Texas, and Vermont. Oregon has been removed, right? So we picked Oregon. It's still in our original list, then we remove it, and it's no longer in our list anymore. So now, when we make our next random selection, we'll be taking that random selection from this list, and it no longer has Oregon, so that means we can't select Oregon again accidentally, right? So that's cool. Okay, so we don't actually need to print out these things. So let's get rid of that and get rid of that. Okay, so we have taken our first selection, added it to our list. Now we need to grab two more random things from our list. So we can pull this same thing again and just random again, right? But before we do that, let's make it even a little randomier, right? Let's take our original list and let's shuffle it, right? So that it's not in this same exact format every time we pull things out of it. We'll add another layer of randomization. So we can do that using the shuffle function. So let's go shuffle our original list. So we would just call random.shuffle. And this is why we had to import random at the beginning of this thing. So random.shuffle and then our states. So if you want to see what this does, we can just print this out and then shuffle it and then print it again. All right, so let's comment this out and let's just see what that does. Clear the screen. All right, so Nebraska was the first thing we picked. This is our first list. You'll notice, Nebraska. No, it's not our first list. This is our second list, but it is with Nebraska removed. So California, Florida, Illinois, that's how it starts. Now we shuffled it. Now it starts Florida, Vermont, Kentucky, and Nebraska is also nowhere to be seen in this. So California, Florida, Illinois. We look at this again up here at the top, California, Florida, Illinois. That's how it used to be, but now it's been shuffled. Now when we pull a random number out of this, it's just adding another sort of randomization element that I kind of like. You don't have to do this. You don't have to shuffle this every time, but it's kind of fun. And we're definitely going to use shuffle later on, so I thought I'd show it to you. Anyway, so, all right, let's clear this screen. So back to the code, and we don't need to print out these guys anymore. Boom, get rid of that and that. Okay. So uncomment this. Now let's randomly select our next state. So there we go. And so what is that going to be? It's going to be, again, our state's rando, right? But we want to now append this also to our answer list. So we can come up here and just answer list dot append and then pass in this thing again. Okay, so now let's print our answer list to make sure now we have two items in our answer list, right? So let's run this again. This was the first one we picked, Nevada. This is obviously the second one we picked, Oregon, right? So now we have two things in our list, right? All right, we need three, we've got two, we're almost done. But we also need to now remove whatever this was from our original list again, so that the third time we pick a state, those first two items won't be in it. So we can just grab the same bit of code, and we don't need to print this out anymore. All right, so the same bit of code where we removed our original one. Let's just copy this, bring it down here, remove second answer from list. Boom, boom. Okay. So then finally, now we need to do this one more time, except for let's shuffle this again, because why not? Okay, and now we want to just grab this again. So we can do the same exact thing all over again. Randomly select our, let's say, third state. And again, we want to append it on here, right? So let's now print our answer underscore list one last time. Make sure there are 3 items in it. And hopefully there should be. And boom, so we have Florida, Oregon, and California. So we've got our answer list, right? And we know what our original answer is. In fact, we can, up here when we're printing it, we're printing it like this. Instead, we've added it right here. So we could just print out answer. So let's print answer. And let's run this to make sure that that is looking good. So Kentucky, New York, and Illinois, these are our 3 buttons that we're going to have. And if you've forgotten, that's going to be, you know, these 3 things will be Kentucky, New York, and Illinois. But they won't say Kentucky, New York, and Illinois. They'll say Austin, Montpelier, or Albany, right? So, and we've already seen how to do that earlier in this video, but I'll go over it again later. And we know that our answer is Kentucky. So this is the code that does all of it. All of this stuff. And this is correct, right? It just is. This works. But this is kind of silly. This is a bunch of stuff over and over and over again. We keep doing the same random thing. We keep adding to our list. We keep removing from our old list. We don't need to do all of this individually like this. We could instead just write a for loop or something, or a while loop maybe, and just loop through it 3 times instead of having all this extra code. So what are we doing? How are we doing on time? Ooh, do you want to keep going? Let's just keep going because we can do this quick. So, well, not really quick. So I'm going to comment out all of this. And let's kind of start over. But now you sort of understand the logic behind what we're doing here. So this should go pretty quickly. So what I want to do is create a count, set it equal to 1. I'm just going to do, I think, a basic for loop or a basic while. Let's just do a while loop. I like while loops. So while count is less than 4, do stuff, right? So count less than 4 means 1, 2, or 3. That means it'll loop through it 3 times. And that'll give us 3 answers or, you know, 3 of these button things, right? Make sense? Okay. And then inside of here at the bottom, we want to go count plus equals 1. So every time we loop through this, we want to increment the count by 1, right? Okay, so what do we want to do inside of here? Well, we want to randomize our stuff. So let's grab that rando line here. Where did it go? Any of them will work. Let's just grab this one. All right, so we want to randomize our thing, and this will give us our first thing. Now, if our count equals 1, if it's the first time we're doing this, then let's create our answer. Answer is our states and then rando. We're just doing the same thing we did up here, right? We're just assigning whatever the first random number we selected is, that'll be our answer, right? If our count is 1, if it's the first time, then we'll do this. Otherwise, we just won't do anything. We don't even need an else statement here. We can just do it like this. So let's make a little comment. If first selection, make it our answer. I don't know, right? Okay, so that should do for that. Now we want to add our selection, whatever we just selected, to our list, right? So that's just going to be this line right here, right? We want to append it, so we can do that. We also now want to, I'm just going to copy and paste some things here. So we want to remove from the old list, right? So that's just going to be rstates.remove. It's this line right here. rstates.remove, whatever that was, so that rando thing, right? Now we want to shuffle again, because we like to shuffle, right? Shuffle our original list. And that was just dot shuffle, random.shuffle, right? And that's pretty much it, right? So let's go through this again. If it's the first time, whatever our random thing was, add that to the variable answer so we can keep track of it. So later on we can, test whether the person clicked the right one and got the answer right? So otherwise, we want to append whatever that random selection was to our answer list. So this is our first one, right? Then we want to remove that from our original list and then shuffle the original list. Then we add one to the count. Then we'll loop through here again. So now it'll be the second time. This won't get called because count is 2 at this point for our second time. And we add our new random thing that we generated right here to our answer list. Now there's 2 things in the list. We remove it from the old one, we shuffle the old one, we add one to the count, and we loop through again. Now our count is 3. 3 is still less than 4, so we create a new random number. This doesn't get called because we're on count 3 now, not count 1. We add the third random thing to our list. Now there's 3 things in our list. We remove it from the old, though we don't really need to this last time, and we don't really need to shuffle the last time, but we can anyway. Now we add 1 to the count. Now the count becomes 4. We loop back around while 4 is less than 4. Oh, 4 is not less than 4 anymore. So the whole thing stops. So we have our 3 things in our list, and hopefully that worked. So now let's print out our answer underscore list, and let's print out our actual answer so we see which one is the answer, but it should be the first one anyway. And hopefully this worked. All right, so Oregon, Vermont, New York, our answer is Oregon. Very cool. If we run it again, Vermont, Nevada, Florida, our answer is Vermont, right? Do it again, Kentucky, Texas, Nevada, our answer is Kentucky. And that's it. We're ready to go. Now in the future, we're gonna wanna randomly shuffle our answer list. And you'll see why in a bit. But if we randomly shuffle our answer list and then print out our answer list again, just to make sure that worked, we'll see what I'm talking about here. So Nevada, New York, Florida, our answer is Nevada. Now we're gonna randomize it, and Nevada becomes the last one in the list. So then later on, when we print this out, it'll be Carson City will be the one down here. And again, we're doing these as states, but we can easily now flip them to the capital if we wanted to. In fact, we can do that right now just for fun. We can print out, let's come up here to the very, very top when we were messing around at the beginning. We can print out any of these. So actually, if we want to do we could do answers. So this is our state capitals. We can just pass in answer, right? So this will hopefully do the trick. All right, so our original 3 were Illinois, Nevada, and Vermont. Our answer is Illinois. Then we shuffled it. It becomes Nevada, Illinois, and Vermont. And now we can print out Springfield, which is the answer, which is Illinois. And we can pull the state capitals for each of these just by referencing their number, and we'll look at that in the next video. So, a lot of stuff going on in this video, a lot of Pythonic sort of things, a lot of randomization and shuffling and appending and removing and all kinds of fun stuff. And this, like I said, this is just one way to do it. This is just off the top of my head. I said, this will work and we'll do it this way. There's probably 1,000 ways that you can randomly select 3 items from a list. I didn't look it up or anything. I just thought to myself, how would I do it? And that's sort of what I did. Feel free to do any other way you want and mess around with this and come up with some other way to do it. This is a little while loop. It's just, 10, 15-ish lines of code. So that's not too bad. Obviously, this is a lot worse, but we were able to sort of, refactor, whatever that word is, into a nicer, smaller chunk of code right here. So I'm going to save this randomy file. I'm going to push it up to my GitHub. If you want to kind of look through all of this code at your own leisure, you can check it out there. In the next video, we'll go ahead and take this while loop and sort of transfer it back into our flashcard app and end up making what we see here. And that'll be in the next video. So that's all for this video. If you liked it, be sure to smash the like button below, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm, and check out Codemy.com where you can use coupon code YouTube1 to get $30 off membership. So that's just $49 to access all my courses, over 40 courses, hundreds of videos, and the PDFs of all my best-selling coding books. Join over 95,000 students learning to code just like you. My name is John Elder from Codemy.com, and we'll see you in the next video.